So here we are. A couple weeks later, we made, I feel like, an incredible improvement.
I agree. I agree.
I think my favorite thing is our new Foyer light.
Yes.
The one we had before was brass, and honestly, it was the original light. And this is just fabulous. And at night, because of all the crystals that you have, it just sparkles everywhere. I just love that light.
And also just the casing of the light too. You know, I know that just casts such a cool shadow. So maybe we'll come back and take another picture at the evening. But I do feel like that is one of the things. I mean, to me, I always talk about like with clothing. Like you can be all dressed up, but until you put on that jewelry, you're not sparkling. And to me, lighting is like the jewelry.
Yes.
It really, really, really dresses it up. And this Foyer just, and I love how, you know, we talked about mixed metals, and we're going to be okay with that, and bringing in some different coloring. So I do feel like the amber crystals just added that nice extra touch of just, you know, we're looking at texture and colors, and I think that really brought it all together with some of the other things we did.
Also, here we are with the banister, and we painted that black, and I love, love, love it. I mean, I feel like it gives it such an updated look, and you know, without having to change all the spindles, which would, you know, that's an option, obviously.
Right.
But we were just, you know, going this route, and I think it just made a really big difference.
Yes, yes. And it's, you know, it's a more modern look. It's just, I think it's really classy. It works really well with your floor color. And like you just now said, if you can go the paint route first, and if you don't like it, then you can move toward updating with a metal spindle or something like that. But this could be a first step, and at least a less expensive step too, because if we remember from the other video, the color of the railings did not match the floor.
That's right.
So you were either going to have to stain it or paint it, and we went this route, and I think you made a really good decision on that.
Yeah, I love that.
Very modern.
Now over here, this mirror was somewhere else. So I love how we shopped in the home and used the things that I already had as much as possible. So I love this mirror here, again going with the black staircase and the light up here. This table we already had. This lamp I actually had in our bonus room. This I had in the dining room, so again, we just used a lot of the things that we had. Over here, this I am so pleased with, because this little tea cart I had in the living room. But no one ever noticed it because, let's face it, not a lot of people go in the living room, our former living room. That's going to change soon though.
Yes, yes.
But we brought the tea cart in here, and everything on here, I think except for this vase, everything on here I already had in like either the dining room or the living room or somewhere else. And I just think it showcases this. I love that. I really do.
Yes. Well, and I just want to say one thing, like some of these items, you have memories of them.
Yes,
they're your
right.
mother's. You remember her bringing them out at holidays.
Yes.
And they were in your china cabinet, which looked great. But you might not go in there as much. So we picked out some of this gorgeous cut crystal.
Yes.
Again, just without having to go buy something new, we were able to bring in these more formal elements, but also where it has meaning to you.
That's right. That's right. This is incredible, because I just always felt like you had to have one thing on each shelf. I had a clock here before, which we're still using just in a different room. But I just love the idea of stacking and having all the different textures. I think when you walk into the house, it just is a completely different vibe.
I agree. And one of the things that I love that we did is a lot of these books mean something to your husband.
That's right.
Your father. There was the background.
My father-in-law, yeah.
Right.
All these books were ours that we had from the family.
And just having them be just like a little stage for some of these more modern items, and also bringing in the colors too.
Exactly.
So.
And this is the newest edition that I love, we didn't spend a ton of money on this. I think you said you got this at Home Goods.
I did.
I just love the blue color because in the family room, we now have that pop of blue. But I just love that. And you notice the picture when you're even standing in the kitchen.
And we wanted some perspective here too. So depending on what angle you're, instead of just being a flat picture, it really brings in some perspective because this is that angular wall that might
That's
not,
right.
you know, it might not get any attention, but so I think that also bringing in the little pop of gold to match with the crystals, again, that mixed metal look.
Yeah, the mixed metals, that's something I had to work on because I always thought everything had to be like match, match, match.
No matchy-matchy.
But this mirror, again, I think was in my dining room, only I love the mirror, I knew it didn't really fit in the dining room, so we put it here, and I love it, it's sort of like when you're walking by, you can check yourself on the way out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And, again, using something that we already had.
And we turned it the opposite
That's
way,
right,
it was
always.
vertical.
That's right.
And I think we had a day of like musical mirrors.
I know, we
every
did.
single mirror in the house has ended up about
Exactly.
14 different places.
Exactly.
And then it was like, ta-da, this is where it needs to be.
That's right. And here we had the plates. I had like a, I don't know what you call a plate stand, had the 3 plates, which we're gonna be using somewhere else. This picture was over here, and no one noticed it. My friend came over and she said, you know, I've never even knew that you had this, because they just didn't notice it where it used to be.
Well, the size of it was on this huge wall.
Yes.
So now the fact that we moved it to a smaller wall, it's more dramatic.
That's right.
Because it's displayed on this smaller wall, which makes it appear large.
That's right. So obviously, we still are going to do a couple more things like fill in the holes, and you know, probably like a fresh coat of paint in here. I know that you were saying you wanted to maybe look for a picture to go over there.
Yes.
So when you walk into the house through the garage, there'll be a picture there, and as you're walking up the stairs. So we'll still look for that, but I mean, I just think just doing all of these things didn't break the bank.
No.
And it was just a completely updated look.
Yes, I totally agree, and I love that we have some new, some modern, and we were able to mix that in a way where it's items you love, and then also just a few new things that, again, like you just said, we didn't spend a ton of money on it, but it's definitely more updated.